Hey grade 12s, in today's video we're going to check out question 9 of the Math Paper 2 June 2024 Gauteng paper, where we're going to continue with a rider for Euclidean geometry. My name is Michael. I've been tutoring for the past 5 years and helped students throughout their entire high school careers from grade 8 to grade 12 improve their math and science marks significantly, some from 20s to 60s, some from 40s to 80s, and on average more than 20% for both math and science. So in today's video we're going to work through a rider here, which is usually a tricky section for a lot of students. We're going to break down the question, do a proof of a cyclic quad, run through the different scenarios of cyclic quad proofs, as well as proving angles and tangents to a circle. By the end of this video, you'll feel more comfortable with riders for geometry. So let's jump right in. So question 9 here says, in the diagram below, the diameter BE, so diameter is always important for us, which means that we are passing through the origin, which means we can use radii rules and diameter rules. The diameter BE of a circle O is produced to D. So it means that it is extended on a straight line. DA is a tangent to the circle, and CD over here is perpendicular to BD over there, which means we have a 90 degrees over here, as has been given. They also then say AC and BC cut the circle at E and F respectively. OF and EF are drawn. So quite a lot of information, but the highlighted lines over here and the angle that's been given are usually what we're going to start our question with. Because 9.1 here says prove with reasons that A, B, C, D is a cyclic quad, which means that if we had a circle like this, all 4 points would be touching, which means that we have to prove something about A, B, C, D so that we can prove that it's a cyclic quad and therefore draw a circle around it like this with all 4 points touching the circumference, which means that the most common proofs for a cyclic quad, there are 4 of them, is that if we have a line like this and we have a triangle over here, if this angle equals this angle, we can then therefore prove the converse of tan chord theorem, which means that because this is equal to this, we can therefore draw a circle around all 3 points, and therefore has the properties of a triangle in a circle. This would be for a triangle, which means there'd probably be another portion somewhere that is looking something like this, so that we are dealing with some sort of cyclic quadrilateral. The second converse is some sort of exterior angle of a cyclic quad, because if we have a line like this and this angle equals this angle, then therefore we have a converse of exterior angle of cyclic quad. And this means that we can draw a perfect circle around our quadrilateral touching all 4 points over there. From there, a common third one is to prove opposite angles are supplementary. So if this angle plus this angle add up to 180 degrees, then therefore we can also draw a circle around this quadrilateral touching all 4 points. And this is called converse opposite angles of cyclic quad, which means we can look for either of these 3 in this scenario, but the proof that we are going to use has to do with converse angles in same segment. Because if we have a bow tie, as we can see over here, there are quite a few bow ties in the scenario, and we can prove that this angle equals this angle. We can therefore then say that there is a perfect circle that we can draw around all 4 points. So now it's a quadrilateral like this, and we have the bow tie over there. Then therefore it is converse angles in same seg, which is the same segment. Okay, so these are the 4 different scenarios we often look for, and we are going to use this 4th one over here. The 4th one works best because we were given an angle 90 over here, which means if we know D2 is 90, it means that we have to prove that A2 is 90 as well. And A2 is 90 because we have angle in a semicircle over here. If ever we have a diameter, we have to look for angle in semicircle, because we have a right angle triangle inside our semicircle. By that, the semicircle is this whole side here. We have a right angle triangle in this part of the semicircle, and it means that this whole side we're ignoring, we're covering it up, so we can just look at the 1/2 of the semicircle. That is just helping us look for the 90 degrees and understand the reason of angle in semicircle, because we're just dealing with a right angle triangle in the 1/2 of the circle, the semicircle, which means we can just go ahead and write A2 equals 90 degrees because angle in semicircle, and D2 equals 90 degrees because given, which means that D2 over here equals A2 over there. And if we're looking at the bow tie that we're working in, we have our bow tie over here, which means that here would be B1 equaling C2, and here, as we can see and have just proved, D2 equals A2. So we write A2 equals D2, and therefore A, B, C, D is cyclic quad, because as we mentioned over here, our reason is converse angles in same segment, and that would earn us 3 marks, because now that D2 equals A2, therefore we could draw this circle around it with all 4 points, A, B, C, D, all touching the circumference. Because then from there, 9.2 says, prove with reasons that BD bisects ABC, which means that we have to prove that B1 equals B2, and it usually is quite helpful to put them in terms of X so that we can see which other angles might also relate to X. Because what we now have is we're trying to find a common angle that links to both of them so that we can prove that B1 equals B2. Okay, and the best thing to look at right now, we've used the 90 degrees here. We've worked with that. We've worked with the yellow line, the diameter. We have not yet worked with our tangent, which means we're going to work with our tangent now. And what we can see is that A3 over here will equal B1 over there. Just like the previous question, question 8, we are looking for tan chord theorem. And if ever we can't see the reason that we're going for, it's probably tan chord theorem, a very easy one to miss, which means that A3 over here, we're jumping into this triangle, AEB, and then to the opposite angle of that triangle, which means that A3 over here equals X as well. So A3 equals B1 because of tan chord theorem equals X because of tan chord theorem. And then from there, we proved 9.1 that ABCD is a cyclic quad for good reason, is because now we can use the properties of that cyclic quadrilateral. And as we can see, just like the previous one worked with the bow tie, we can also see that there's a bow tie happening this way in our previous cyclic quad, which means that we're just looking in the pink bow tie over here. We see that A3 is equal to B2 as well, because A3 over here is that part of the bow tie and A2 is this part of the bow tie, which means we can write A3 equals B2 equals X because of angles in same segment, which means that if A3 equals B1 and A3 equals B2, therefore B1 equals B2, which means that B1 equals B2 equals X. And there is no reason for that. That is just a proof. We have said that A3 equals B1 and A3 equals B2, and therefore B1 equals B2. And with that, if B1 equals B2, we have proven that BD over here bisects ABC, bisects the corner, cuts it perfectly in half, so that B1 equals B2 over there. So we can just write down our conclusion, BD bisects ABC. And that would earn us 3 marks over there. And then last question, 9.3 says, prove with reasons that EC over here is a tangent to circle OEF. So proving with reasons that EC is a tangent to circle OEF, which means we're now dealing with another circle here with OE and F all touching the circumference here. Okay. And what we need to prove is that EC over here is a tangent to this circle, that it is not cutting through over there. Okay, and as we were chatting about earlier with proofs for cyclic quads, we're usually looking for converse angles in same segment, converse exterior angle of a cyclic quad, converse opposite angle supplementary, or converse tan chord theorem. Because what we can see inside the circle over here, OE and F is a triangle, which means the interaction between a triangle and a tangent has to do with our tan chord theorem. Because if this angle equals this angle, then therefore we can draw a circle around the triangle over there, like we're trying to prove here. And in this scenario, we're not trying to prove a circle, we're trying to prove that it is a tangent and not cutting through that circle. Which means that if we're going to look at the circle over here, the angle that we're trying to prove, or the easiest angle that we're trying to prove, is that E3 over here equals O1 over there. And we're going to see why that is the case based off of our previous calculations. Because what we have to do is calculate O1 in terms of X like we did earlier, and then E3 also in terms of X. And then we can see that O1 will equal E3, and then we can say that EC is therefore a tangent to circle OEF. But if we're going to start with O1 and how it relates to our previous calculations, we can see that O1 is 2 times the angle of B2. Because what we have is an arrow over here. Whenever we're dealing with an arrow like this angle here is 2 times the angle at the circumference. Angle at center equals 2 times angle at circumference. And that is exactly what we're seeing here and all the way up to B2. The only difference this time is that they are joined at the bottom, which doesn't change the meaning at all. angle. It just means we're dealing with something like this, and the reason is still the same, which means that O1 equals 2 times B2, which equals 2x, because O1 equals 2 times B2, which equals 2x over there. The reason over here is angle at center equals 2 times angle at circumference, which means if we're going to put a value in here, we now know that it is 2x over there, which means the whole objective is to prove E3 equals O1 here, which means that E3 is also equal to 2x. We just need to know why, because if we're going to look at our original circle and we're going to look at the cyclic quadrilateral EABF over here, we can see that E3 over here is the exterior angle of our cyclic quad, which means that E3 over here is the angle outside our circle, and E3 equals B1 plus B2, because exterior angle of a cyclic quad jumps into the angle in our cyclic quad and then equals its opposite angle, which means that E3 equals B1 plus B2 equals 2x. And the reason for this one is exterior angle cyclic quad, which means that O1 equals E3, and that is exactly what we wanted. O1 equals E3 equals 2x, because O1 equals 2b2, which equals 2x, and E3 equals B1 plus B2, which equals 2x, and therefore O1 equals E3, which equals 2x. And as we can see, O1 is 2x, E3 is 2x, which means that EC is a tangent to circle OEF. So we can just write our conclusion, and that would earn us 4 marks over there and 10 marks for this whole section. Great job, guys. I hope this gave you some more clarity for Euclidean riders. Let me know if there are any questions in the comments below. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.